the very least, we get the ball up pitch, provided we can get the throw off, which we do. And it's a good catch.
How did you make that?
He's gonna try to screen out. Screen out the whiny beavers. Oh no! Does he have an apothecary? I don't think he has one. He's gonna spend it, and he's still dead. Oh my god! Oh no! Deccan's stare bag is dead! Dead! It's another king! Oh my goodness! What is happening? See if he can get away. He cannot. He's gonna have to do this. Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League. Week 1 of the Batter Bowl. It's the mixed team competition. We have News Team 6, coached by Hoggles, up against the champion, the man himself, Nick Satan, coaching the Circuit City Cadavers. Let's take a look at Hoggles' team here. We see these very familiar Bull Centaurs. He coached a Chaos Dwarf team in Season 1, and we see a lot of them here in the mixed team competition. The reason for that is they are fantastic players. He's got 2 in his lineup here. They have an MA of 6, a strength of 4, agility of 2, and a very, very good AV of 9. They have sprint, and they have sure feet. That gives them 3 GFIs that they can take every single turn, and they get to re-roll those GFIs. Thick Skull means he's also going to stay on the pitch. The only real weakness with this player is his AG of 2. If Nick Satan wants to tie up these players, he can. But the problem with that, of course, is this massive strength of 4. It's going to take at least 3 strength 3 players just to tie up one of these Bull Centaurs. And with a maximum movement of 9 every single turn, they can run around this pitch all day long. Very interesting. You don't see this. This is what I like about mixed teams. You've got the Bull Centaurs. You've got these Chaos Dwarf blockers. That's cool. But what's going on down here? 4 Skaven players, 2 Storm Vermin, MA of 7, very respectable. Strength of 3, agility of 3, and an AV of 8. Not a bad stat line at all. A very good stat line. They also come with the block skill. And they are coming paired with some Skaven Gutter Runners. The fastest players in the game of Blood Bowl with an MA of 9. They've got a meager strength of 2, a fantastic AG of 4, and a pretty brittle AV of 7, but they also come with dodge. These guys can score in 1 turn. 4 Skaven players. We've got the 2 Chaos Dwarf Bull Centaurs. 3 of the Chaos Dwarf blockers, not a bad stat line. 4, 3, 2, 9. They've got block, they've got tackle. We'll see if tackle comes into play once we take a look at Nick Satan's lineup. Tackle negates the dodge skill. And then, of course, he's got an Orc Blitzer here with a stat line of 6, 3, 3, 9, and block. Nothing much to see there, other than, of course, he's the executive producer. Everybody takes orders from Lemus here. Pigeon, the producer, however, he's the guy that grabs the coffee. He's a Goblin Looney. What's going on here? He's got an MA of 6, a strength of 2, an AG of 3, and an AV of 7. Pretty brittle, doesn't have strength. Typical Goblin, But also, like a typical goblin, he is a secret weapon. He's got this chainsaw. This chainsaw means that when he takes a block, instead of rolling block dice, he's just going to roll a d6. And it's going straight to armor, and the armor roll gets a +3. If he rolls a 1 on that d6, the chainsaw actually kicks back onto him, but otherwise, he's looking for some massive, massive damage out of Pigeon here. Pigeon being a secret weapon means he's only going to be in play for one drive. There's a 12-man lineup, so Hoggles is more than likely going to save Pigeon for when he feels it best. That could be the very first drive of the game, but he really wants to maximize the use of Pigeon and try to get as many hits as he can. The big hole in this lineup, of course, is the TRRs. There are 0. He spent it all on these really good players. These gutter runners are sick. The Bull Centaurs are sick. Chaos Dwarf blockers, not bad at all. And then, of course, the Goblin, all sorts of shenanigans are going to come out of that Goblin. I can't imagine otherwise. Everybody else, the final 3 players all have blocks, so not a bad lineup at all, but he's got no TRRs. So action order is going to be paramount for Hoggles tonight. He's really going to need to know what actions to take in what order and when to take those risks. Sometimes you don't want to take the risk. Sometimes it's not worth taking the block if it means you're going to get knocked down. We'll see if he can play that game tonight up against Nick Satan. Nick Satan coaching the Circuit City Cadavers. 11-man lineup here. Whew, good lord. All right, so he's got the vampire here and 3 and 4 vampire thralls. We haven't seen a vampire in the league before. Let's talk about vampires really quick. First, straight up, the stat line is amazing. MA of 6, strength of 4, agility of 4, armor value of 8. One of the best stat lines, if not the best stat line in the entire game of Blood Bowl. They're very fast, they're very strong, they're very agile, and an armor value of 8, not too shabby. He's got regen, which means if he gets injured, he has a chance of not being. He has a chance of regenerating, coming back into the reserves. His negative trait is Bloodlust. He's got to roll a d6 before he takes an action. If he fails the roll, if he rolls a 1, then he has to suck the blood of someone, which means after his action, but before he does anything like pass or hand off or anything like that, after he moves, he's got to suck the blood of a friendly player adjacent to him. And if he can't, then being a vampire, he's got to find it elsewhere. He's going to find it out in the stands, which means he's going to be kicked off the pitch for the remainder of the drive. That's where these thralls are going to come in. These thralls are pretty fast, not too shabby with their stats other than this weak AV. He is probably... there are 3 hapless victims and one contest winner. So the 3 hapless victims, and congratulations to number 11, the contest winner. They're probably going to be spread out along across the pitch to try to facilitate Disco Dan von Dusseldorf, the vampire, so he can leverage these crazy stats and stay on the pitch. One thing to point out with Bloodlust is if you fail your Bloodlust roll and score a TD, you still need to trigger Bloodlust. You still need to suck someone's blood. If you don't, the TD gets rolled back. Hypnotic Gaze is a really, really good skill here. What's going to happen is the vampire, if he wants to use Hypnotic Gaze, then when he ends up adjacent to an opposing player, he can make an AG roll, and if he passes, then the opposing player is in a trance. He can't do anything. He can't catch. He can't move, at least not voluntarily, and he doesn't have any tackle zones. It's a really good skill. And so I'm very, very excited to see how Nick Satan plans to use this vampire, seeing as the first vampire we've seen in the league. He's got a Khemri Thrower, standard thrower for the Khemri team. He's got regen. Tomb Guardian with this incredible strength of 5. His negative trait is the decay trait. When this player suffers a casualty roll on the injury table, roll twice on the casualty table and apply both results. All things being said, not too bad of a negative trait. seeing as he's got that crazy strength of 5. He's easy to lock down with that AG of 1, however. Flesh Golem has Stand Firm, also with a fantastic stat line. The Necromantic Werewolf, also with a fantastic stat line, also with Claws. Claws is devastating. Claws, when he takes his block, armor rolls of an 8+, automatic injury. 2 Undead Ghouls fill out the line here. They've got dodge, otherwise weak armor value, but a good stat line other than their AV. This is a really interesting and I think really strong lineup, and this is going to be hard to beat, especially with the 2 TRRs. He's got the fan factor advantage almost on lock. He's got the Necromancer for the regen, but because he has some players with regen, he is not allowed to bring an Apothecary. So you can see the Vampire Thralls, they don't have regen. The Undead Ghouls, they don't have regen, but he can't bring an Apothecary for them. He's got the Necromancer due to the players with regen. And therefore, anyone who's dead is dead for him. Again, unless they have the regen skill, and then they get to roll it. 2 very interesting matchups, or 2 very interesting lineups. It's a very, very interesting matchup. I really don't know how to play them against each other. I think, SP Beaver says, who needs TRRs when you can just sacrifice players? I don't know what the counterplay is here for either of these teams. I think Nick Satan has to be careful of losing a lot of these players. Most of his players have an AV of 7. That makes them very brittle, and that means Toggles is almost certainly going to target those players. But otherwise, he's got fantastic stats that he can leverage, and if Hoggles lets up for 1 turn, even for 1 action, Nick Satan can capitalize on that. He can capitalize on that with a good use of Hypnotic Gaze. He can capitalize on that with all this speed, a good Claws hit. He's got the Frenzy to go along with that. Malik says, yeah, Thralls are 40k. Yeah, that's a good point. These Thralls are super, super cheap. And if they die, he just picks up a new one for 40k. Clyphia says, targeting players with low armor value never results in problems. It just ask. Oh, wait. Yes, indeed. Game 1 of this week was a pretty amazing game. So I think that's Hoggles' game plan against Nick Satan, is to go after those AV7 players. Nick Satan against Hoggles? Man, I don't know. There's a lot of strength on this team to get through. He's going to have to make some key tie-ups, and he's going to have to be very, very careful of the gutter runners. The only real saving grace with these gutter runners is that there isn't a thrower on the lineup. So that's really the only thing that's protecting Nick Satan against typical Skaven gutter runner play. But I still think he needs to be careful of them. They are too squirmy and too fast. But anyway, I think this game's about to get underway, so let's see if the team, or if the coaches are ready to go, and we will start the second game of this mixed team competition. Looks like the coaches are ready to go. Clyphia says this is going to be a very interesting game. Very, very different teams. While Malik says, just hit them and break them. I think you're both right. And the game just got underway. Turn 1. Nick Satan, the Circuit City Cadavers, are on offense. We saw that Vampire go for the Hypnotic Gaze and failed with a 2. He's got the fame advantage of +2. 3 TRRs. How did that happen? Frenzy with Wolf. Good knockdown on the left-hand side of the line. It's going to result in stun. Two-die block with the Tomb Guardian. That menacing Tomb Guardian with a strength of 5. Hit. Satan looking to block down this entire line. He's got one more Chaos Dwarf blocker to get through. Looks like he's going to try to pick up this ball instead with the throw-up. GFI fails the GFI. He'll spend the TRR. Good pickup with Sure Hands. Sure Hands gives you a free reroll if you fail a pickup. Satan moving a ghoul back to cage up the thrower. 43 seconds play in turn 1 for the Circuit City Cadavers. Moves a thrall back 1. Looks like they're making a play to set up a thrall in case he needs to move the vampire back, perhaps? Successfully blocked down the entire line. He's got 2 players left. He's got the Flesh Golem with a strength of 4, and he's got a Ghoul. Seconds to go. Thinking about what to do with this Flesh Golem. Moves the Ghoul up to tie up the Bull Centaur. Gonna blitz with a 2-die blitz. Good hit. Bull Centaur's gonna be knocked down. Indeed, he'll follow up. He's gonna lock down that Bull Centaur. Bull Centaur with an AG of 2. Oh no, he's not gonna lock down the Bull Centaur. He decides to move over and lock down the Chaos Dwarf blocker instead. Interesting choice. Turn 1 to News Team 6. Hoggles and News Team 6 deciding what they want to do here. Took the secret weapon out on drive 1. You can be sure he's going to be looking to get some hits with that fella. But whom is the question? Lots and lots of juicy targets on the pitch. Hoggles stands up his players. One minute into turn 1 for News Team 6. Hoggles carefully considering what he wants to do. He's got a cage at center pitch here. He could get aggressive on the left-hand side. I don't think he wants to. If I were him, I might just reset my screen, take some blocks, or rather, take the would-be block with the chainsaw player. No, you know what? Maybe I'd get aggressive. It's so hard to say. Skaven Gutter Runner. It's not going to get an assist here. It's going to get a 2-die block with the Strength 4 Bull Centaur anyway. Decided to take out the Vampire from assisting rather than gain the assistant block. Good hit by the Bull Centaur. Bull Centaur follows up, and now that is a tackle zone on the ball carrier. The Pigeon, the producer, the Looney here, the Goblin Looney. Blitz is already used. He can't use his chainsaw. He's going to reposition to the left. Does that mean he's going to shift left with everyone else? Hoggles has historically been a very, very good defensive coach. He doesn't get trapped. He doesn't get roped into bandits. Takes the hit. And that's it. Turn 2 back to the Cadavers. If not a gaze. Succeeds on the Bull Centaur. So that Bull Centaur, he can't do anything. He can't move. He can't catch. He can't throw. He doesn't even have tackle zones. Two-die block on the right-hand side with the Tomb Guardian is going to result in a push. I think he's going to push him straight back, but we'll see what he decides to do. Yes, indeed. Follows up, and now he's got tie-ups on 2 Chaos Dwarf blockers. Very good follow. Good use of a Tomb Guardian. That Tomb Guardian is effectively taking 2 players out of the play right here. These 2 Chaos Dwarf blockers, they only have an AG of 2. With both of them together, they only have a strength of 4 on a block, which is still an uphill block. Block with the Flesh Column in the right wide zone results in a push. Chaos Dwarf blocker on the right hand side here in danger of a surf next turn. That Chaos Dwarf blocker, wow. GFI with the Ghoul fails. He's going to spend the TRR. He is down to 1 TRR just like that. 2 wasted TRRs, unfortunately, here in the first 2 turns of the half. Sends a Ghoul back. He's threatening the pass with the Ghoul. Ghoul, not a bad receiver. AG of 3, but being this far makes it an unlikely catch. The Ghoul has no catching skills. Clivius says he does have 3, which is some number more than I was. 3 TRRs. Yes, indeed. Hoggle's almost certainly going to lose his Chaos Dwarf blocker. In fact, I would just save him for the last action and try to dodge him out just so I get a knockdown and keep him on the pitch. 2-die blitz on the Bull Centaur. Both down. Doesn't work out. He had to take the both down result because he spent his TRR on the GFI. You only get 1 TRR a turn. And now Hoggle's in very good position here. Hoggle's in excellent position to try to take a hit on this. He can take a chainsaw hit on this vampire. Moves the Bull Centaur back to tie up the Ghoul. If he wants to tie up the Ghoul, I would probably move him behind. But this is fine. You know what? Actually, this might even be better. Blitz with the Bull Centaur. That's going to take the chainsaw out of the drive. Get sun out of it. Oh, was that a both down result? I don't know if I would have blitzed with the Bull Centaur there. I would have blitzed with the Goblin. Personally, I want to take that thrower out. Turn 3 back to the Cadavers. Cadavers not in bad position here. 3-die block against the number 11 Gutter Runner. It's going to be a clean hit with AV of 7. Doesn't get anything out of it. And Alex says, lucky break for Nick Satan. Yes, indeed. Very lucky. Wow, and there's an injury against Pigeon, the producer. And that's it. The secret weapon out of the game. Didn't get any use out of him, unfortunately. This Flesh Golem's going to get a surf here. Yes, indeed. Good hit. It's going to be a 2-man player advantage for the Circuit City Cadavers. 11v9 on the pitch. Two-die block now with the Tomb Guardian right at center pitch. It's going to be a clean hit. He's going to push the Chaos Dwarf blocker towards center pitch. As I was saying earlier, the Bull Centaur, the number 6 Bull Centaur here, generally you'd want to get in front of the ball carrier, but this might not be so bad, simply because this Ghoul only has an AG of 3. He doesn't have any skills to assist in a catch, and this is a pretty long throw, so maybe not bad positioning. Two-die blitz. Gets a good hit out of it. Moves the blitzer off to the right-hand side. Cadaver's pretty spread out here. Good pickup by the Ghoul, and he's going to reset his cage right across the center line. Is he going to try to take a dodge to fill in the gap, or is he going to leave it be and try to tie up these players? Still has his TRR. I don't know if he wants to spend it. Might also want to try to dodge this ghoul as well, or else this ghoul's going to be taking a 2-die block. Clifey says, catching players, you mean? You can't possibly mean catching the ball. Good dodge by the ghoul. Ghouls have the dodge skill. Turn 3, back to Hoggles. Hoggles down 2 players. Still certainly not out of it. He's going to need to reset his defense and get in front of his cage. Seconds have gone by. Hoggles deliberating, contemplating. He's lost his secret weapon. Down 2 players. He's got a block take here on the Thrall. Decides to move the Blitzer back to center pitch. Malik says he needs to mark the ghouls or it's a handoff to a TD. Indeed. Comes a 2-die blitz on the front of the cage. It's only going to result in a push. Does he follow up or not? I think not. Oh, he does. All right, he's going to tie up the ball carrier. Still currently only a 1-die block coming back on the Bull Centaur. He has to be wary here. The school has dodge. Malik is correct. If this ghoul dodges away, gets the handoff, that's a TD here on turn 4. Seconds to go. He's got to pull a player back. We'll see if he recognizes it or not. It can be hard, especially when you're under time pressure, to really analyze the pitch and get your players where you need them to be. And it's remember, it's particularly hard for Hoggles. He has no TRRs, so he really needs to consider action order. SP Beaver says, "What's the AG of the ghoul? Any chance for a pass? No chance for a pass. The AG of each is 3." And this would be a short pass, but he doesn't even need to do it. He can get a positive dodge out to a handoff. He has the dodge skill on top of that. Turn 4 for the Cadavers. They're going to take a block first on this Bull Centaur. Try to get him off the pitch. Doesn't work out. He gets a stun out of it. Frenzy follow-up to double skulls. I'll have to spend the TRR. I don't know why he's making all these die rolls. I get it. You want to take players off the pitch. But man, were it me, I just want to score. Props to Nick Satan, though, for taking the hits. If you can take players off the pitch, then you're certainly better off. Oh boy, he's going to take the block. I would have just dodged with the ghoul. He's going to take another block. Here's the blitz block. Works out. All good hits. But remember, every single die you roll is a chance that you will fail, especially now that he has no TRRs left. going to be the dodge, or the it's no longer a dodge, but there was the attempt at the handoff. It doesn't have the TRR left to succeed on the handoff, and now it's turn 4 for News Team 6. Hoggles was given a miracle. That's why those skills are so important. And if you don't have the skills, you really want to back it up with the TRR. Taking the blocks was risky. He spent the TRR, didn't have it to complete to convert here for TD, and now Hoggles is going to get an opportunity to collapse down on this ball. Clivey says passing never causes problems. Never ever. Who's ever heard of it? If you're new to the game of Blood Bowl, passing is one of the riskiest. I spoke too soon. GFIs are apparently one of the riskiest plays. The Cadaver is going to get a second attempt here to score. They're going to have to just pray to Nuffle. They have no rerolls left. We'll see if he continues to press his luck here with the block. He does. He's going to get a surf here on the Gutter Runner. Trying to take this Gutter Runner out of the game. Doesn't do it. But well done anyway. Takes him off the pitch. Two-die block with the Flesh Column. Also going to result in a push. But yeah, if you're new to Blood Bowl, passing is one of the riskiest actions you can take. You have to roll the die for the pass, you possibly have to roll for an interception, and then you have to roll for the catch. That's 3 die rolls. 3 die rolls in one action. Think we're going to see the pickup? No, he's going to do a blitz. So aggressive, I love it. He's going to get a push out of it. He's going to push him towards center pitch. There's a pickup. Failed pick. Almost saved it. Hoggles once again, and News Team 6 have a chance to try to get on this ball. Nick Satan could find himself with 3 players out of position if Hoggles can get players on this ball in a secure way. None of his players are cut off. Stands at the Bull Centaur on the left-hand side of the pitch. Decides not to move with him. 2-die block. So he's taking the block here. Block worked out. But that block means that's a player that's not moving onto the ball. SB Peter says, I was just hoping this game ended 4-0 so I could be in 11th place instead of 12th. Yeah, with the exception of Wenger's match against the AI, I don't know if anybody's going to top 3-0. 3-0, the score of the first game this week. Good pickup by Hoggles and News Team 6. Taking advantage of the Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin's a very good player to have the ball in the hands of. He's got an AV of 8 and a strength of 3. Oh, wow. He's going to take another block. I would want to protect this ball carrier. Malik asks, can he cage him? Ish. You can get a player here, and a player here. But yes, he needs to protect the ball carrier or else Hoggles is not going to hold on to it. Both coaches deciding to take blocks instead of reposition. Very interesting strategic choice. There's one player on a cage. He's got 2 to go. Both of them have to dodge. Is he going to do that or is he going to take a block? He can't take a block. It's uphill. Well, It'd be a one-die block. Yeah, he's going to take the one-die block, and it's going to work out. Wow, well done. One player left. Where is he going to place the player? Nowhere is really safe anymore. He's got 3 seconds to decide. Looks like he's going to... No! He's going to set up... he's going to set up some tackle zones here. Fair enough. We'll see what happens here in turn 6. Werewolf running. Lassie the werewolf running back towards the ball carrier. Repositioning. We'll see if the Cadavers start moving back in front of the ball carrier. More than likely, I would imagine these players, he'll take whatever blocks he can. Good hit. Good blitz by the Tomb Guardian. That's 3 MA to stand, 1 for the blitz, so he is done. He only has an MA of 4. When you knock down the Tomb Guardian, they're not going anywhere. He'll take whatever hits he's been given. I imagine he'll reposition all these players back to in front of the ball carrier. Well, I spoke too soon. I would have imagined he would have brought these guys up to take the ball and then defend it, but it looks like he's gonna leave one behind. Fair enough. Stands up the flesh golem, ties up the bull centaur. Doesn't have a blitz left, so he's not going to be able to get the ball this turn. SPVer says, I thought he was thinking of an early foul. Yeah, that thought crossed my mind, and I was like, oh, yikes. I don't know if I'd want to risk a foul on this fella. Hypnotic Gaze succeeds, and the Bull Centaur, once again, the number 5 Bull Centaur, he's done. He is in a trance. Two players left to do something with. 2-die block's not going to work out. And now back to Hoggles. Neither coach with TRRs. Hoggles still in good position. Hoggles can attempt to set up a blitz on the Thrall. It's tough. He'd have to get a block with the Chaos Dwarf blocker to open a hole here. This is all covered by tackle zones. And then he could set up a blitz on the Thrall if he just wants to YOLO and run this Storm Vermin downfield. SPVer says the Vermin is now caged. Clypheus says, is that how cage works? Who knows? Maybe they're all like childhood friends. They're all looking out for each other. One minute, 3 seconds left in turn 6. Just 1 second, I've got some commissioning to do. All right. Oh, what skill was that? Bloodlust failed, so now the vampire is going to need to be next to a Thrall when he's done. He can't follow up here. Yeah, he's going to have to stay put, and then he's going to have to feed on this Thrall. And there it is. play, gets a stun out of it. Also not too bad. Good hit by the Toon Guardian. Another very good stun against the Chaos Dwarf blocker. Good hit. How's the audio? I got a report that the audio is too soft. Is the audio too soft? Turn 7 back to news. Team 6. They've got to get players on this ball carrier. That's going to have to be a double dodge. Nick Satan did a very good job of tying up these players. And now Hoggles finds himself in a predicament. He has nobody to get back on this ball carrier unless he takes some risks. I honestly think he's got to take the dodge blitz here. I don't know what else he does. Sends the number 3 Chaos Dwarf blocker back a space. Everybody's tied up. "45 seconds to play in turn 7. Here it is. Here's the dodge blitz. Uphill blitz. Had to take it. At least he gets a follow-up out of it. That's all he can count on here. Flyfa says that's quite the lockdown of players. It is. Nick Satan did a very good job of tying up these players and putting tackle zones between the ball carrier and all of the, or putting tackle zones between these players and the ball carrier, so they would have to do lots and lots of dodging if they wanted to get back there. How's the audio now? Is that any better at all? Two-die blitz. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Final turn, and that is going to be it. It's going to be 0-0. Decided to take the blitz first instead of risking the dodge. The player had the ghoul has the dodge skill. I would have just dodged out, but he's looking to take some players off the pitch. One die block. That's gonna be it. 0-0 at the end of the half. Wow. Let me check the audio settings here. Wow. Let me know if that audio is any better or not. It looks like Looks like it's not recognizing the mic correctly, and I don't want to end the stream to reset it. So if that's good enough, we'll go with that. Second half begins here. Crazy first half results in results in a 0-0 score. I don't even know what to say about that. that was bonkers. Both teams back up to 11. It's going to be 11 v 11 here. Take a look at the week 1 standings really quick. Just one game is played. The Ardents of Nuffle defeating Santa Swarm 3-0. They're in first place currently. I don't think anyone's going to beat 3-0 with the possible exception of the Horsemen, who are up against the Kernus Eagles, the AI team. They could run them for more than 3 points. So we'll see if that happens or not. Nick Satan sets up. He's got a 5-man line here on defense. So Hoggles is going to set up probably with a 3-man line. There's really no way to get through this line. Yes, indeed. 3-man line by Hoggles. Here's the kickoff. He's got 2 to receive. Both the Skaven Gunner Runners naturally. Coaching. The Cadavers get an extra team reroll this half. Not something News Team 6 wanted to see. They get a touchback at least. And now News Team 6 is going to get a chance to try to win this game. First order of business is to figure out how to move the ball forward and how to protect it. Got a blitz on the table. Decides to move the left-hand Bull Centaur forward 1 space. Ties up the Ghoul. Hoggles cage is up right at center pitch. Well, not right at center pitch. He's a little off to the left, but right at the center line here. That's a good advantage with the touchback. Touchback, you don't have to move. You don't have to catch the ball. You don't have to spend any dice trying to get the ball in your hands. You can just take it and go. Good block by the Bull Centaur on the right-hand side of the pitch. Doesn't really look like he's trying to open a hole. Perhaps he is, but he is setting up to surf this thrall. Hapless victim number 3. Yeah, no hole. Instead, he tries to cover the hole. So we'll see how Nick Satan reacts to this. Looks like Nick Satan's going to try to take this Bull Centaur out. 2-die blitz, double skulls. He'll have to spend the TRR. Double skulls! Oh no! Wow! That is rough. Rough. Oh my God. Oh my god, we're looking at the replay, and there's a death. We missed a death. That was the death on the surf. Good lord, what just happened? Double skulls. Nick Satan had to spend the TRR, failed it. Hoggles just got a death on hapless victim number 3 over here on the right sideline. And now Hoggles is up 11-10. He's got a gutter runner in the backfield. Wow. Nuffle is not kind to the Circuit City Cadavers. Use Team 6 with 2 players in the backfield now. He's got a Storm Vermin here to give a little bit of protection for the gutter runner with the AV of 7. Now the passing game is a real threat. Remember, these Skaven players have an AV of 4. Good eye block with the Bull Centaur is going to result in a dodge. AG of 4, usually not bad. Cliffy has asked, it was a thrall. Yeah, it was a thrall. It was hapless victim number 3. Usually not bad to make the AG4 pass. This is way too far. But the problem is, no matter the distance, unless it's a quick pass, he doesn't have a TRR to spend. He doesn't have the skills. So, still a little risky to threaten the pass. But having the threat out there definitely will make Nick Satan think twice and reconsider what his defensive formation should be. SB Beaver says with a name like that, he knew what he was getting into. One of the thralls is a contest winner. Where's contest winner? There he is, contest winner number 1. 4 seconds left, nothing happening with Hoggles. That's it. Wow. Wow. What happened there? It wasn't a disconnect because the timer wouldn't have ticked over. Wow. Maybe Hoggles just decided this is where he wants to be. 2-die block at center pitch with the Tomb Guardian. Good, clean hit. Nick Satan trying to level the playing field. Perhaps even literally. Good block with the werewolf. SB Beaver says maybe he was feeling guilty about the death. No, that couldn't be it. Wow, 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 wow. Cliffy says, such a crazy game. Crazy game indeed. It's one of the charming things about Blood Bowl. You never know what's going to happen. Good block by the Flesh Golem. Follows up on the block, gets a tackle zone on the number 12 Gutter Runner, the ball carrier. That Gutter Runner still has dodge. He's still free to dodge. And that means Nick Satan's still going to have to cover this left wide zone. One tackle zone on the Bull Centaur. Is he going to try to get a blitz on the Bull Centaur? 2-die blitz if he wants to take it with the Thrall. Nope, looks like he wants to take it with the Thrower. 2-die blitz only going to result in a push. Looks like he's going to follow up. Follows up with the Thrower. That's 2 tackle zones on this ball carrier. Still has a positive dodge backwards. Still has a crazy MA of 9. 40 seconds of play in turn 10 for the Circuit City Cadavers. 2 TRRs remain. Hasn't used one yet this turn. Fails the Bloodlust roll. Oh no! Looks like that might have been an error. Looked like he, or unless he ended his turn. I'm not sure. But the vampire failed his Bloodlust roll, didn't bite a Thrall, and then that means he goes off the pitch. So he's out for the drive. But he's in the reserve, so he'll come back next drive. It's 11v9 in favor of News Team 6 at the moment. Looks like that may have been an error. Or I hope not. Hopefully it wasn't a glitch or something. But unfortunate either way. "65 seconds to go here in turn 11 for News Team 6. "45 seconds to play. Still no real action by Hoggles. He's got some blocks to take. Gonna take one. That's with the Bull Centaur. It's gonna be a good block against a thrower. Has to push him where he wants to go. Gets a stun out of it. Well done. Man, I love that logo. Maybe a blitz with the ball carrier. Blitz with the ball carrier moves the ball carrier back over to here, perhaps, or keeps him put. Who knows? 9 seconds to play. Nope, it's going to be a blitz with the Storm Vermin. GFI blitz failed the GFI. That's going to be the end of the turn. No movement by News Team 6. Back to the Circuit City Cadavers. Currently at an uphill block here with this flush column. Frenzy follow-up on the push. Oh no. He's going to have to spin the TRR. Gets a push on the Frenzy. Wow, 1 TRR left for the Cadavers. And now that werewolf's in bad shape. One die block against the Gutter Runner is going to result in a dodge. Gutter Runner's still in very good shape. Still has positive dodge opportunities. And an insane amount of MA. Again, the fastest players in the game of Blood Bowl with an MA of 9. GFI Blitz. That's it. Wow, so many GFIs. SP Beaver says, how many times must Nuffle prove it to us? Never GFI. What a game this has been. Turn 12. Back to News Team 6. Clavius says that was my secret. Never GFI no matter how much I ever thought I should. Yes, GFIs in Blood Bowl have a 1 in 6 chance of failing. That is roughly equivalent to 95%. Good block by the number 5 Bull Centaur. News Team 6. Gotta get some movement on this ball. Not so much... Right, this isn't a situation with like an all-Dwarven team where they've got to keep progressing every single turn because they just don't have the speed. He's got plenty of speed. He just doesn't want to get caught. Right, he wants to take advantage of holes, take advantage of positioning when he can. Looks like News Team 6 is about to shift to the right. Not a bad idea if he can get some tackle zones between the rest of this, the rest of Nick Satan's team. Let's see what he decides to do. Gonna set up a cage over the right here. Does he still have his blitz? He still has his blitz. He might take the blitz with the Bull Centaur, reposition the Bull Centaur maybe over here. And then he can reposition... Well... That's going to be it. GFI once again fails. So something to keep in mind with the GFI is, even though it's, quote, only a failure on a 1, you roll enough of them, you're going to fail. Final turn of the third quarter. Circuit City Cadavers desperately trying to stop the score. They want at least a draw. They're still in it to try to win it. Flyfy says 19 turns now have ended with a turnover from the GFI. Good block on the number 5 Bull Centaur. Moves the stands up the thrower, shifts him over to the right. Hoggles is going to have an opportunity here on his turn to make something happen. Nick Satan's not going to be able to get his entire team into position. 2-die blitz with the Tomb Guardian is going to result in a push. He'll follow up. Not that it's going to do much. One minute 3 to go here in the third quarter. Blitz is spent. He has 1 TRR left. He's trying to decide how to reposition his team to prevent Hoggles from running past him. He's going to get a second tackle zone on this gutter runner. I still don't think this is going to do much. But what else can Nick Satan do? Takes a block with the werewolf. Frenzy follow-up. Uphill block. Wow! Lucks out. That's the problem with Frenzy. Frenzy can be either a very, very powerful tool or very, very dangerous. If a block results in a push, then you must follow up and block again. That's how Frenzy works. And here we are. Hoggles now has an opportunity to run down this right side of the pitch. He can block down the number 9 Thrall, and then he's free and clear, and he can even protect the ball carrier doing so. He's got 2 players down pitch. He could blitz block with the Bull Centaur if he wants. He's got options on how he wants to block. He's got a number of other players that can come up behind. But he's, oh man, he's going to take the blitz against the Tomb Guardian. It's going to result in a push. Oh, I'm sorry, against the Ghoul. AV7 Ghoul trying to take a player off the pitch, but now that Chaos Dwarf blocker is effectively locked down. Now that he took the blitz with the Chaos Dwarf blocker, that means the Bull Centaur is not going to get a chance to move if he wants to take the block against the Thrall, which means he's going to be short a man to try to defend the ball carrier down here in the backfield. But we'll see what he decides to do. He doesn't even necessarily have to move the Bull Centaur. He could block with the Bull Centaur, push him over to here, follow up. That might be good enough. 2-die block's going to be a clean hit against the werewolf. Gets a good stun out of it. Well done. Poor Lassie. Does anybody know who Lassie is anymore? Man. Remember, News Team 6 has no TRRs. Every die roll he does is a risk if he wants to move this ball down the pitch. Yep, there's a... Oh, wow! Wow! He says, I am not afraid of you. Instead of going down the sideline, he decides to dodge right to center pitch. Holy moly. That's some guts. Here's the pass. Failed the catch. That's the risk with the pass. Ball's in a pretty good position for News Team 6 here. But we're almost certainly going to see Nick Satan try to pull some players back and get on this ball. Try to take a gutter runner out of this. Yes, indeed. Two-die blitz. It's going to result in a push, unfortunately. We'll push him off the ball. Remember, the gutter runner has dodge, so the the defender stumbles results in a push instead of a knockdown. Pushes him off the ball, follows up. He's going to do another dodge to try to pick up the ball. What does Nick Satan do? He's got one TRR left. So Hoggles had a number of options there. He went for the pass. He was looking for some SPP. Failed pickup. He's going to spend the TRR here. Failed pickup. Where's the ball going to get thrown back in? Oh, no! Thrown back in! Oh, man! Thrown back in! Thrown back in again? Thrown back in again! And again! And again! And yet again! Oh, man. And now it is right at center pitch. It is anybody's ball. Wow. 3 turns left. News Team 6. They can take a block. They might even be in better position here. They can take a block on the Tomb Guardian, get him out of the way, try to cage up on this ball. Wow. I love this game. Holy smokes. Good pickup by the gutter runner. He's going to dodge the gutter runner back out. You saw all that movement. That was 9 movement. He can take a block on the Tomb Guardian, and then he can cage up on this ball carrier. There's cage player number 1. Oh no, it looks like he's not going to get the block on the Tomb Guardian. Everything else is going to have to be a dodge here. Two-die block results in a dodge push. He'll follow up with the number 5 Bull Centaur on the left. He doesn't follow up. Oh, man. Wow, what a choice. He wants to keep that Bull Centaur free and clear. He's going to move this blitzer. I might GFI with him. Honestly, move him one space here, but nope. Everyone's learned their lesson here with the GFIs. Tries to get a block with Bull Centaur on the right-hand side of the pitch. Only gets a push out of it. He's looking for more. Good dodge by the gutter runner. Decent cage. But now he's got choices to make. Good dodge by the Storm Vermin. There's the cage. What does he do with these 3 players? Nothing, he says. Nothing at all. And that is a fine decision. He wants to tie up all 3 of these players. 2 of them very important players. Turn 14, back to the Cadavers. Trying desperately to stop this score. They're playing for a draw at this point. It's not to say they couldn't win. It's 2 players base to base in front of the cage. It's not going to do much. One die block with that Tomb Guardian. He's trying to take players out for the in consideration of the rest of the competition. 65 seconds to play in turn 14. It's got to find a way to try to stop. It's not going to happen. Failed block roll. No TRRs left. That's going to be it. The Cadavers have an opportunity to score. We'll see if he takes it or if he's going to try some blocking. Both teams have been very, very aggressive in taking their blocks even when not necessary to score. Wow, there it was. 2-die block failed. Turn 15, and he gets a stun out of it. Turn 15. Back to the Cadavers. Remember, this gutter runner has a speed of 9. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 GFIs if he wants to take them. He could even just go straight forward. That might even be better than the GFI because he can take the dodge as he has the dodge skill. He'd have to block one of these players at least, though. 90 seconds to turn 15. Nick Satan has to stop this any way he can. He is thinking about the competition. He says, you know what? You might win this game, but I'm going to make sure that I take as many players off your team as possible. Only gets stunned, unfortunately. That's how good players think. Thinking not just about the game, but about the entire competition. And where this season play, he may even be thinking about the season. Wow, what a game. What a game. Moves the Tomb Guardian forward to tie up the Storm Vermin and the Bull Centaur. He's going to put as many... He's going to force Hoggles to take dodges in any direction that he goes. So you can see he's trying to shore up the right wide zone. He's got the front wide zone covered, more or less. Now he's got tackle zones here. This is a strength 4 player, so it's going to take 3 players to get a 2-die block against this Flesh Golem, so this is a good move. This puts tackle zones here as well. There are tackle zones here already. So as it stands, Hoggles has to dodge. He has to dodge for days. Not anymore. Good effort, good attempt. It's just really hard to do without the TRRs. Hoggles is going to get an opportunity to block down this ghoul. SPUer says, do not block. I think he should. I think he should block. Final turn of the game for News Team 6. If they're going to score, they've got to do it now. Oh, wow. He can block down the ghoul, and he's free and clear to win this game. "70 seconds to play. Moving the Bull Centaur forward. Nick Satan, the current league champion. Hoggles looking to beat him here in week 1 of this competition. He decides to just dodge and go for it. Well done. 1-0. News Team 6 is going to win this. We have one more turn left for the Cadavers. They're going to be able to take some hits, try to get some vengeance here, but the game's gonna go to News Team 6 and Hagel's team. Well done. I still would have taken the block. SP Beaver says, do not block! News Team 6 is going to set up on defense here. They're just going to leave it lie. The Cadavers are going to set up on offense. Do they have anyone fast enough to score? They do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there is a riot, the Cadavers have an opportunity to tie this game up. We saw it last game. Can we see it this game? SB Beaver says, normal math would say to block, but not Nuffle math. Nuffle math is the real math. That's just the truth of the matter. Here comes the kickoff. News Team 6 hoping for anything but a riot. Changing weather. Doesn't really matter. The weather's going to stay nice. The ball will scatter one extra space. That's going to do it. Circuit City Cadavers get an opportunity to get some hits. And that's going to be the game. One, 0. Hoggles is going to advance into second place. Sure hands failure. That's it. That's the game. Well done, GG's. That was super fun to watch. Walpert the Anchorman. Of course he's the MVP. Jenny Craig the thrower. Wow, that is a fantastic MVP pick. If you're unfamiliar with how MVPs work, they're random. So getting this on a key player like this, that's a great. That's great. MVPs are worth 5 SPP. Cliffius asks, dodge is 1 reroll per roll or 1 per turn. Can only reroll a die 1 time. That is correct. Take a look at the die rolls here real quick. You can see just how few SPP were scored in this game. 7 for the Cadavers, 8 for News Team 6. D6 die rolls for the Cadavers, looking a smidge negative, but not too bad. News Team 6, on the other hand, looking just about even. And then the block dice for the Cadavers, lots and lots of block rolls. Again, just a smidge negative here. While News Team 6 not taking too many, and it's a little more negative than positive as well. So Nuffle was really angry in this game and took it out on these two coaches. But News Team 6 and Hoggles came out the winner against the current league champion, Nick Satan and the Circuit City Cadavers. Well done. Congratulations to Hoggles and his victory. Remember, this is a Swiss bracket. So if we look at the schedule, that is not the schedule at all. That's an instant replay. If we look at the schedule, Ardents of Nuffle came out on top on game 1. So if everything ends the way, if the week were to end today, Ardents of Nuffle would play News Team 6 in week 2. It's a Swiss format competition, so weeks 2 through 6, the first place team will play the second place team, the third place team will play the fourth place team, and so on, unless the two teams have already played each other. And then, in that case, it would just go first place would play, say, third place, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's going to do it. Well done again to Hoggles. Congratulations against his victory against the Cadavers this evening. 1-0 victory. Coming up next is going to be Vector Victor, newcomer Segnor's Loop versus Malik, and It's All Ball Bearings. That game is being played right now. Once it's finished up, it's probably finishing up any minute now. Once it's finished up, we will start the game. It's going to be a replay stream. We'll take a look at that. And then on Thursday, August 5th at 10 p.m., it's going to be a live stream, Berserk Circus at Firepants, 2 newcomers to the league. And we will wrap up the week with Game 5, Griffs at the Wanghangers. It's on Saturday, August 6th. The time has yet to be determined. It'll probably be determined on Saturday. The Horsemen at Kernis Eagles. That will not be streamed. That's the AI game. There's the presumption that the Horsemen will win, but who knows? Who knows what will happen? But none of the AI games are going to be streamed. Just the player versus player games. So the Kernis Eagle games will not be on stream. If there are any fun highlights, I might put together a highlight clip. But yeah, we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. We're going to get resituated. We'll probably shut down the stream for 5 minutes or so. We'll kick it back up and we'll get underway and check out the Vector Victor game against It's All Ball Bearings. Stay tuned, guys. I hope you had fun, and stay tuned for the next game. So the current game between Vector Victor and It's All Ball Bearings, that is currently just starting the second half. So we'll come back, say at we'll start the stream back up at 9:30. We'll give it a 15-minute countdown at that point, and then we will start the replay game between Vector Victor and It's All Ball Bearings. Replay games tend to be a lot faster than live games. You don't have to wait for each coach to make their decision. It just action after action after action. So we'll restart the stream at, say, 9:30